Hello guys, welcome back to Let's Go Far Together. Today we're going to discuss and talk about the 2-3-1 formation. As you can see it on the red, and the other formation is a 3-1-2. As always, the goal is implied. If you want to include it on the formation, the way you express it is 1-3-1-2, and the one we're looking at in the red is 1-2-3-1. But normally, for everyone that knows soccer, you obviously gonna have a goalie, so you describe from here forward. So it's a 2-3-1 formation. With that aside, I want you guys, because this is a new team, to understand the advantages of this, and the reason why I do this with 2 defenders instead of 3 is because I want you guys to grow used to having partnerships, having triangles, and having diamonds. Okay, there's a triangle here and there's a diamond here. So as we progress into 9v9 or 11v11, then you guys as players are more adapt to play the formations you're supposed to play and be able to have partnerships and know who you're supposed to cover, who's supposed to cover you, and work together. But anyways, there's 2 center backs, 3 midfielders. There's obviously the left midfielder. We're attacking from here this way, so it'll be the left midfielder, the center midfielder, and the right midfielder, and obviously this will be a striker. What I want and I expect out of you guys, especially during the game and being our first time together, the striker, I want you to hang around this zone. Oh, out of the box, but in behind the midfielder for the other team, and around the center backs of the opposing team. Because what you would do is you will either force this guy to drop back to make sure you don't take his back, or you'll force one of these 2 guys to pick you up. And what I want from you is movement. So when we have the ball, and say the pass comes like this, if we are attacking, everybody's pushing up, you'll be able to turn and try to shoot, or just make a good pass in between for your supporting teammates. When we are attacking, the left midfielder, the center midfielder, and the right midfielder, we all support the attack. The defenders move up all the way to the half line. I do not want to see you guys staying back here, because what that does, it creates a big space for the opposition to exploit. And if we were to lose the ball, let's say we lose the ball here, and these guys come out, they can send the ball out, and right away we're 3v2. And I cannot have this happening during the game. So I need you guys to trust each other. I need you to trust your teammate. And when we have the ball, you need to deny them space. So if we have the ball, you guys move up. The center midfielder always stays within this range. And you can go up somewhat to this area to clean up anything that comes out, a rebound, and try to, again, distribute the passes out to your 3 attackers. When we attack, and as you notice, we have what would be essentially the destroyer, meaning like if they win the ball again, then we try to recover it here, but then you also have to be creative enough to distribute passes. You cannot, I was talking to you guys in practice today, when you're playing center midfielder, you cannot sit on the ball. You cannot get it and then just wait for pressure. You have to get it, and 2 touches tops. You get it, take a touch, make a pass. If the defender is coming from this angle, then you can try to take a touch this way and make a pass this way. Or in the worst case scenario, if we have them inside the box, you can be up here and when the ball comes out, just try to shoot on goal if you don't see any other pass. Because what we do not want is to lose the ball and have them running at us with only 2 defenders. So again, when we're attacking, left midfielder, the striker, the right midfielder, and the center midfielder go up. With the center midfielder, making sure you don't go way too up, because then you'll leave that gap in between. We do not want gaps in between. We want to be compact and stick together and move up together as we progress in the field. When we're defending, however, this changes. First of all, the moment we lose the ball, everybody's defending. So if we lose the ball up here on the attacking half, we want to try to win it back. So what I want to see is, I want to see my striker, I want to see my left and my right midfielder to try to win the ball back. If you the one to lost it, you gotta try to win it back and try to keep pressure over here so we can regain the ball and take shots on goal. However, when they do have the ball, because they will, that's what this game is about, transition, we want to be compact. So we want to close spaces here, and this guy, if he has to, he can drop in between to have 3 defenders, and these guys could drop in here. Now our purpose in doing this and playing like this, the right midfielder, your responsibility is the striker on the right, on your side. And in this case, for the number 7, the responsibility is of this guy. And the number 8 has to pick up this guy. And the striker, if one of these guys comes in, you gotta pick him up. And by picking him up, I don't mean carry him. I mean, just make sure you follow his run. So if this guy goes in here, you gotta make sure you follow the run or switch the man. Meaning, the 9 would take the number 6, and then the 7 would take the number 3. Because what we don't want is a free player running in between our lines at all. This will be a lot easier as we progress, but essentially what we want is we want to force them to play the ball on the outside. We want to protect this zone with everything we can to keep them from scoring on us. And this is why, this is how we protect it. And that is why, because we want to keep them from this zone. This right here at the top of the box, that is called zone 14. You do not want to have them that space open, because if you give them that free space, they can take a shot and go from there. And normally, when we're under pressure, they will have space, but you want to make sure you give them the space on the sides. Let them move the ball up and down this way, and let them move the ball up and down this way. Let them make side passes. We just do not want penetrating passes or shots. I need you guys to be responsible, be accountable, and be encouraging. Be responsible for the person that you're supposed to be marking. Be accountable to your teammates and for your teammates. And be encouraging to your teammates. And even yourself if you made a mistake. Just raise your hand and say, I made a mistake, and move on. I do not want you guys to be negative at each other. In this game, if you're negative at each other, then the other team doesn't have to, because you already beat yourself up. So, if you are that defender, let me erase these things so I can show you the very basics of the position. If you are, when I put you in the field, if you're the left midfielder, I don't want you attacking over here. If you're the right midfielder, I don't want you over here. You can come in, if you're on the right, you can come into the middle, right here, by the striker. If you're on the left, same here, same thing, you can come into the middle and support the attack. It's just pointless for all my strikers to be over here together. If that happens, we're gonna lose worse than you think. Just think of the field as if it's split in half, and this center back is allowed to come over only to support this guy if this guy doesn't come back. Because the plan is that if they broke in our pressure and the striker is coming against our number 3 right here, the center midfielder is the one that's supposed to come and protect. So this will be pressure, this guy is cover, and this one is balance. Balance just means you a little bit lower and over to the side of the guy covering, because if this guy's break this way, then he can press and then you become the cover. Because ideally this guy will be crossing back. But what I do not want you to come way over here and have this guy right here, because then we are only one defender, because then they can just come over this way and shoot. That's why you stay over this way a little, the center midfielder, and then this guy stays right here. If the center midfielder does not come back in time, then you do cover him, but making sure you stay from the center of the goal to where the ball is in that line, to make sure you are covering properly. Instead of, you don't want to be standing over here, because I don't want you to cover the space. I don't want you to cover here either, because if this guy's faster than our center back, he's going to go through and he's going to be in on goal. But if you're in your right position, then you are going to be able to challenge for the ball. Same thing on the other side. If this guy's challenging our number 4, then our number 3 needs to be here if the A doesn't come back. But the center midfielder ideally needs to be there, so the number 3, our other center back, can be covering the option of the other striker. I hope that makes sense. I don't want this center back, I don't want the left center back covering space on the right like this, because that leaves this side completely open. I want you guys to remember you're protecting the goal, so think of yourself like a dog on a leash. And the anchor is at the center of the goal. So you have to just make sure you protect the goal and protect your goalie. The center back needs to come back and help. Remember, I don't want this guy over here and I don't want this guy over here. The guys in the middle, they can go to both sides. So this guy can be over here when we're trying to attack, and he can be over here. So he can make combinations with this guy. He can receive the ball from the number 7 and right away turn it to the number 10, so the number 10 is on goal. Same thing from the other side. He can move over if the number 10 has the ball. Just don't be too close. Get the ball, hurry up and turn, and put the ball in for the number 7, for the left midfielder, to be able to attack into the goal. Again, the guys in the center, this guy right here and this guy right here, are allowed to move more freely. But this guy has a lot of responsibility, because if this guy's too far up, he's just not going to get the ball. But if this guy's too far up, then we're going to more than likely consider a goal. So I really hope you guys understand that I need you guys to be responsible and be accountable and be encouraging to each other. Close the spaces. The moment we don't have the ball, we need to close them out and keep them out of our zone. When we do have the ball, I want the striker to hang about the half of the field. If the ball's on this side, come over a little bit. If the ball is on this side, then come over a little this way. So then we can try to work the ball out. The moment we have the ball, we spread away from each other and try to find a pass. Don't be afraid to pass back. If this guy right here is in trouble and these guys are defending him like this, then he could very easily just drop the ball back, so then this defender can send it in for the striker. The more we think like a team, the more we're actually going to be able to be dangerous instead of just sitting on our hands. So I hope you guys understand that. I will see you Saturday. And if you enjoyed this, please drop a like, so this helps out. And please make sure you share it to the rest of the teammates. Thank you guys.